Bum, 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 bum. Hey, kia ora. Helen Brahms here, coming to you live from Surprise in Arizona. Hope you're having a super fantastic sparkling day. This is going to be a very short podcast because my dinner is in the oven and I have to take it out in 12 minutes. So let's go. We are welcome to Before the Dirt Nap podcast number 1565, Off to the Circus. Yes, tonight we are watching the 13th James Bond movie, Octopussy. This is the 6th movie that features Roger Moore as James Bond. He has one more movie tomorrow night, which is A View to a Kill, and then he is done with his 7. So he actually did 7 James Bond movies, and he did most. Tonight we also in Octopussy see the return of Maud Adams, and if you were watching The Man with the Golden Gun, Maud Adams plays Scaramanga's mistress, and he ends up killing her during the movie. So she is now back tonight as the character Octopussy, and she heads up the octopus cult, which is, she's a very wealthy businesswoman, but she also is a jewelry smuggler. Yes, so she has an international jewelry smuggling ring, which actually happens to cover up a couple of bad guys who are using her jewelry smuggling skills to actually plan a nuclear attack on a US Air Force base somewhere in Europe. Where was it? In some place in Europe. That's all I can remember. But not only is Octopussy a jewelry smuggler, she actually has a circus that goes traveling around, and this is how they smuggle the jewels is through the circus and everything else. So there's a circus train, and there's a really cool scenes on the circus train. Lots of action in this one. It starts off with them being at Checkpoint Charlie, and there's a horse show taking place, and James Bond turns up with a Jeep attached to a trailer that's got a horse on the back of it, so you think. And later on it is revealed that horse is actually fake, and it lifts up and out comes this little small aircraft. And its wings fold down. It's pointy piece at the front. It's got a very long pointy piece at the front. Comes out as well, and then he takes off, and he actually ends up with a heat-seeking missile chasing him. It's a really cool scene with the plane flying and all of that sort of stuff as well. And I like the wings folding up and down. That's really cool, especially after he's done away with the bad guys. Just the end of that whole scene before they go into the theme song. It's between the gun barrel and the theme song, so it's the prequel. Octopussy came out in 1983, 4 months prior to the movie Never Say Never Again, which is the remake of Thunderball. And the remake of Thunderball, and it came out later on, but we're not watching Thunderball till we finish watching all 25 of the original Eon Productions James Bond movies. So that will be night number 27. And there is a good story about how it got named and everything else. This one here starts off with Fabergé eggs and the death of 009. And then going on the trail of the jewelry smugglers and uncovering the plot to use nuclear warhead at a circus performance that's been done on a US Air Force base. Probably in Germany. It's probably where it was. I don't know. But the Octopussy does not know about the nuclear attack, this other subplot that's going on. So she soon finds out about it. And Robert Brown is now the new M. If you remembered last night, I was talking about Bernard Lee, who unfortunately, after they started filming For Your Eyes Only, he passed away from cancer before they filmed his scenes. So out of respect for him, they rewrote the script to make it that M was on vacation, and did not replace him, did not find another actor to take his role over. They just basically wrote him out of the script by saying he was on vacation. So tonight we get to see Robert Brown as the new M. And if you've been following along in the movie The Spy Who Loved Me in 1977, he played Admiral Hargraves in that movie. So he's now back, and he's going to be the new M. Let's see. That's about it that I have for you guys. It's a cool one tonight. You actually get James Bond dressed up as a clown, complete with clown makeup. It's really cool. But it involves a circus. So this is a cool. So please remember that when you're watching the circus performances, there are animals involved. But remember the time this was filmed in 1983. Just have to keep pointing out that, there were certain things going on in the world at that time where what we live now was is different to what we're living back then. So don't put today's values on a film that was done. Actually, that film's going to be 40 years old this year. That film is 40 years old this year. I just did the math. 40 years. It's a lot of time. So now we're into the 80s. We're seeing all the 80 fashions come out. We're seeing, and this is before the wall came down, so you get to see Checkpoint Charlie and that all that was going on with the East Berlin, West Berlin thing. This is well before the wall came down. I think my what am I cooking? Quinoa might be burning with my chicken. Doing this really cool chicken dish. Anyway, so just remember the time that this is in, and thank goodness the safari suits are gone. I did not like safari suits. I don't think he wear one. No, he doesn't have a safari suit in this one. But yeah, so just remember the time. This was 40 years ago. There was a lot of things were very different in the world. So please remember that when you're watching, and don't put today's values on a 40-year-old movie. So that's it. I'm out of here. Go enjoy Octopussy. If you have seen Octopussy, please let us know in the comments below. What was your favorite scene in that? Mine's actually the prequel. I love that little plane that goes flying around with the fold-up wings, especially when he rolls into the gas station. Oh, you'll have to watch it to find out what happens at the gas station. Anyway, so that's it from us for tonight. We're going to go watch Octopussy as soon as I go take the food out of the oven, and we can sit down and have dinner, watch Octopussy. Did you guys watch For Your Eyes Only last night? What did you think? That was my first James Bond movie. You never forget your first James Bond movie on my first date with my first boyfriend. The relationship, somebody asked me about the relationship. It did not last long. We lived in 2 different cities, about 3 or 4 hours a drive time apart. I was a teenager at the time. So a lot of our relationship was correspondence, sending mail, actual writing of letters backwards and forwards. And if I was ever visiting my grandparents in Palmerston North, I got to see him. And on one of those visits down there, we went out to see For Your Eyes Only, chaperoned, of course. But anyway, so Octopussy, I didn't actually see this one until a few years after it came out. But I was very happy to find out that James Bond wasn't just one movie, that there was a whole slew of them at that point. That it was the 12th one. There was 11 before it. I had to figure out how to watch those. But anyway, so that's what's happening tonight. We're watching Octopussy. We will catch you guys tomorrow evening. So go out, have a super fantastic sparkling evening, and we'll catch you back here at 6 p.m. 6 p.m. Pacific tomorrow night. We will have Nicole here tomorrow night. Remember, Nicole is our functional blood work specialist, along with a nutritionist. And we will be talking about, on tomorrow ones, we're talking about holiday preparations. We've got the holidays coming. Do you realize that next week's going to be Thanksgiving? I was like, what? No, I was looking at a calendar today. And of course, you've got Thanksgiving, and then you're into all end-of-year parties and celebrations and holiday parties and award ceremony, end-of-year award ceremonies are going on. And then you've got Christmas and Kwanzaa and Hanukkah all thrown in there, along with a whole bunch of other ones. So we're really getting into the party season. And so Nicole is going to help give us some advice tomorrow evening about how to prepare for the whole upcoming holiday season and get through it in one piece. So we'll catch you guys back here tomorrow evening at 6 p.m. Pacific. Hey, konara.